All right, so here we have our hose, and you can see where that hole is. You can see it drip. And what we're gonna do is, in order to mend this, we're gonna have to cut right here and then mend it together. I'm gonna show you how to do that, because if I turn the water on, which I'll do, you're gonna see that there's gonna be a lot of water coming out of this little hole. So we definitely can't use our hose to water our grass. Let me turn the water on. So yeah, you can see that that's a no-go. We're gonna have to let that water come out of there, and then we're gonna cut this hose right now, fix it, and mend it together. So let's get it going. So the first thing you're gonna need is a pair of snips like this in order to cut the hose. If you don't have a pair of snips like this, you can always go ahead and just use a knife to cut that through. It's gonna take a little bit of time, but you can do it. So that's what I'm gonna do right now. The first thing is I'm gonna go ahead and cut this. And again, you don't wanna go ahead and just cut down the middle. You wanna remove this piece that has the little hole in it, the puncture in it. So let me see if I can, there we go. And then the thing is, you want to go ahead and cut this as straight as possible. So that's a pretty good straight cut right there. And I'm going to do the same thing here. There's the hole, I'll just cut it right here. And that doesn't look too straight. You can go ahead and fix it. And we'll go ahead and what you're looking for is straight cuts. You can see this one over here, I did a better job, and then we're going to mend it together. So let's do that next. All right, so now that we have our hose cut, what we're going to do is mend it together, and for that we're going to use this right here. And basically it goes on both sides of the hose, so that side goes on there and the other side goes on there, and you can see it just mends it together. So let me break this off so you can see what it looks like. Okay, so here it is. This is going to go inside the hoses like so on either side, and this is what's going to connect it and mend it together, so you can see how that looks. And then these two things right here are going to put pressure on here and hold it down. Basically, these are the clamps right here, and they're going to clamp it down on either side of that. So they're going to clamp it down here on the plastic. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and loosen the clamp up. Then we're going to go ahead and put it in there like so. And we're going to do the same thing on this side. And these clamps right here, they'll work with 5/8 or 3/4, and you can see it says 5/8 or 3/4 on it. So if you look at the description, I'll have the links for these clamps, for this hose mender, and this drill as well, because this drill comes in handy. So again, we're going to go ahead and do this side here. Make sure, might have to loosen it up a little bit more. Okay, like that. Put the hose through. And now we're going to go ahead and put this, the black piece right here, that actually takes the two hoses together and mends it. So there it is. So you want to put the hose around the inner fitting. And now we're going to go ahead and move this. And you can see move the two clamps, which is very important, to the middle here. Now that we have that in place, the next thing to do is screw the clamp down. And you want to do this a little bit at a time, going from screw to screw. And then I'm going to do the same thing here. Go ahead and hit it like that. Same thing on the screw. I'll go back over here, do this, do that. And then you really want this to clamp down on that plastic piece. Make sure it doesn't move, which it doesn't. And I think on this side, you see it's still open. We're going to go ahead and clamp it down more. There it is. This side as well. There's room to clamp it down. And then we'll clamp it down here. So you can see this side is still open. We might be able to clamp it down a little bit more. There it is. This is designed for these clamps to be, you know, to bite down. It doesn't have to be perfect. You're always going to get some of these lines showing through. That's not that much of an issue. So let's clean up over here, and then I'm going to turn on the water, and hopefully you shouldn't see any water coming out of that thing. So let's see. All right, and I did turn on the water, and you can see that there's nothing coming through here, and you can see there's basically nothing. It's not leaking, and we can use it now. So let's go ahead and test it. All right, so here we have our hose, and we can see we have pressure. It's working. We have no problems, and we can go ahead about our business and tend to this beautiful grass that we have, that we've been working so long on. And that's just a little bit of air still coming out, so it's pushing the air out. And this will happen in the beginning. If you have a long hose, there's going to be a lot of air trapped in there, so don't worry about it. But the hose has been fixed, and we can go ahead and go about our business.